We continue our story with a high-speed aerial chase with Faust and Hiccup pursuing the Nergigante that took Grimlock. Now remember, Grimlock is in a dire state here and is about to transform. So the aerial fight kind of goes a little bit differently than you should. It's really not a fight. It's really just Faust trying to attack Nergigante so that he could drop Grimlock while Hiccup is screaming, no, they can't do that. They need to find a safer way to get him, and Nergigante kind of just brushing off any attack. But just before Nergigante enters his location, they actually get surprised by another Elder Dragon, Velkhana. If you guys remember the last part, Velkhana is one of the few Elder Dragons that serve Daggeron. So this is where, in the scuffle, Nergigante does have no choice but to drop Grimlock in order to properly defend himself, but he does see that he is slightly transforming. Faust dives down and goes to get him, while Nergigante makes quick work and then lunch meat out of Velkhana. Yeah, he's still the apex predator of the Elder Dragons for a reason. This is where Hiccup is reaching out and tells Grimlock to hurry up and wake up. Please wake up, please wake up, please wake up. And he actually is shocked by what he sees here. Grimlock fully transforms mid-air into Duremdira, the ice poison elder dragon. And without a second thought here, he immediately goes up to Velkhana, snatches the mess out of the elder dragon while it's still, functionally being beaten down by Nergigante, and he slams it right, pretty much just he actually twirls him and then throws him right back into the ground, to which Hiccup actually just face palms himself and says, even as an elder dragon, he can be very dramatic. So yeah, he's fine, and Velkhana actually goes plummeting down, but encases itself in ice to suppress the impact. We then go to the Elder's Recess, and Elsa is walking around just, trying to investigate what the guild wants her to, and she's just kind of sad, kind of depressed, wondering if Grimlock is okay or if he's dead. And unfortunately for her, this is where Velkhana decides to crash here. The ice was able to cover its fall, but again, it's still kinda hurt. However, Elsa takes this opportunity to draw her dual blades, and the two engage in a heated and ice-cold battle. Back with Grimlock-Duremdira, he actually does hug Faust, his Malfestio, before telling the others to follow him. This is where Nergigante holds him and tells and communicates in an Elder Dragon more, I guess you could say in an Elder Dragon language, that Grimlock does need to follow him. And Faust actually carries Hiccup along with them, with Hiccup wondering what's going on here, why is this happening, why are we trusting an Elder Dragon? But then he kind of realizes what he just said, as now Grimlock has been revealed, or at least now in full form, his Duremdira state. So they actually go to this pedestal where three other Elder Dragons are sitting: Dishufiora, Shantien, and Amatsu, with Nergigante pretty much taking on a perch to the side, while Duremdira goes right before the feet of Dishufiora. Hiccup is shocked to see all this, to see these Elder Dragons all gathering in one place, the most powerful of their lineage all gathered in one area. We then pick up with Elsa finishing the harvesting of her Velkhana victory. But then she actually sees something interesting. She actually sees Faust, and he actually is looking at something a little different. At first she's shocked to see that Faust is here, but then she sees what he's looking at and why he's shocked. He sees Xenojiva corpses. A lot of them. Not one or two, we mean a lot here. Like, you could fill up a whole football stadium with these kind of bodies, type of Xenojiva corpses. They all look to have been destroyed, obliterated. Elsa harvests whatever remains she can get out of it, but she admits it's not much. However, she looks up to see a storm brewing, and this is where she and Faust head towards. And we actually see Shantian and Amatsu both synchronizing and actually doing a conjoined storm. They're actually performing it right around Grimlock, merging their storms together, creating this, I guess you could say, this dark and light front within them, and they both begin to dissipate into energy. This energy begins to flow and swirl around within the storms, both giving their lives in the process, and both Hiccup and Grimlock are shocked to see what happens next. Grimlock feels a surge of energy pulsate through him as both dark and light energy, or both dark and light storm energies, ram right into him, merging with his dragon form, causing him to turn human as a simple reflex of his body. And Grimlock bows to Discifiora, asking him if he's sure, with Discifiora looking at the young boy with confidence and with glee. He then nods and signifies that he's going to be helping him through this journey. However, as Grimlock is about to test his new abilities, Elsa runs up and hugs him from behind. He's shocked to see her, but she explains what's been happening, how the Elder Dragons have all gone, I guess you could say, on a rampage, if you will. And Elsa then tells him about how she was able to finally kill a Velkhana on her own. Grimlock is not only elated and elated, but they both share a romantic kiss about it, and then they all head back to Astera, to where they are greeted by Astrid, who have seemed to have slayed a Gore Magala and is wearing its armor. This is where the commander pretty much greets them, telling them what's been going on, and is actually wondering why Grimlock is at the center of it. To which Grimlock explains to everyone about his father and apparently his plans to start the next great dragon war. And this time he said that the dragons were going to win it. To which the admiral that says that will explain the Velkhana, the Elatrion, the Elatrion that's appeared in the further deeps of the Elder's Recess. This is where Grimlock dispatches Discifiora to go and deal with it. Elsa then gets her armor crafted with 2 frost-wielding dual blades that actually help her conduct her powers in a much more, I guess you could say, offensive and defensive manner, basically making her essentially a perfect weapon. Grimlock has his Dalmador armor fixed and updated, with him actually feeling the soul of Dalmador, Shah Dalmador by the way, pour into him, and he feels the fire coursing through his veins. He feels the strength of the creature as his muscles bulk up, and this actually makes him more in tune with nature itself. He feels everything, the thoughts, the details, everything. And he tells them that they need to head to the old world immediately. There's no time to waste. Even telling them, pretty much giving a speech at this point about how they're humanity's last chance. The last line of defense, if you will. And yes, this is a lot of pressure, but again, they are the only hope of stopping this dragon war from ever happening again. Once ready to go, the 4 of them, along with the handler, embark on, well, one of the fleet's ships. They are the first fleet, after all. And this is where we actually see different things. Elsa is actually concerned. Astrid is kind of more stoic and laid back. Hiccup is actually detailing the environment as usual, and Grimlock is meditating. But then a storm appears, and Hiccup is wondering if Grimlock caused it. To which Grimlock simply says no, he hasn't tried to use anything just yet. He's trying to just feel nature itself at this point. And this is where Hiccup asks him, then what could be causing it? This is when the sea itself begins to violently shake. It begins to tremble at everything, and Grimlock simply just gestures and points. A Nakarkos versus a Cadeus. The most, probably one of my 4th or 5th favorite clashes in Monster Hunter. Using the abilities of Amatsu, he's able to clear the storm above them. But then, this is where everyone sees something a little bit strange. Grimlock senses a lot of dragon energy, and it's not just from these two. He senses it in the sky. And before anyone could say anything, Hiccup looks in the air and he gasps as he sees a glowing red object coming at the boat at full speed, and he screams, Valstrax. Everyone takes cover and ducks as the Valstrax comes, I guess you could say, from the top rope. Pretty much comes overhead, swooping down, trying to destroy the mast and sail the best they can. But Elsa is able to throw an ice shield up over the ship, blocking most of the attacks. However, it does crack after the third strike. The Valstrax is crimson glowed, and Grimlock notes this as its dragon energy seems to be pouring out from it. Hiccup says they're not going to be able to withstand any more blows, and he says that Elsa cannot take much more of these kind of attacks, or at least she can't put up a defense long enough for us to at least get out of the attack range. So this is when Grimlock does something a little bit bold. As the Valtrex comes at him, he jumps on it, grabs it by its wings, or at least the limbs that pretty much attach its wings, and pretty much just drives it. We then see this aerial dogfight or this aerial rodeo, I should say. As everything is spinning around, everyone is just shocked that Grimlock would do something like that. However, Grimlock does an ingenious move and pilots the Valstrax right into the Nakarkos. It goes basically like he grabs it and steers it so long and then drives it head first right into the mouth of the Nakarkos, just barely missing the Cadeus. Grimlock is able to get back on the ship due to the Cadeus actually helping him, and as a sign of thanks, it takes him to the old world. However, as they get off the ship, they are greeted by a risen Shugara Magala, a brand new and enhanced elder dragon species, one of the few that serve Daggeron. However, no one is shocked, no one is surprised, no one is scared. And Grimlock tells them, you ready? This is where we see a montage of them drawing the weapons. Hiccup drawing his bow and arrows with his Deviljho armor. Grimlock drawing his sword and shield or his charge blade. Astrid drawing her switch axe. And Elsa drawing her ice cold dual blades. And that's where we're going to leave it off here, you guys. And I'll see you guys for part 4. Peace.